part of a two-parter. Go back and listen to the last one if you want to catch up. But we left off at the point where they're about to do the cell phone analysis of Lindsay's cell phone. And there's a lot of good stuff here. She searched for carotid artery, how to slit your throat to die. Can you turn airbags off on a Kia Sorento? Spoiler alert, she drives a Kia Sorento. So he said that there was also another person who'd done a forensics dive, and this was Joseph Rabbit. We talked about him in a previous video. So on January 27th, he also did some extractions of this phone, and he actually did a full file system extract, which is behind the scenes. So he did actually a much deeper dive, but interestingly enough, these two men never talked to each other. So they didn't collaborate at all. So neither of them really looked to see what data the other one had or compare or, samesies, anything like that. He did talk about, Reddington did verify the calendar app, and he was able to verify that morning of 8/23, I talked about this in the last video, where there were searches on the Surface Pro at home, searches about suicide. And the prosecution would have had us believe this entire time that Lindsay was putting in, she faked her suicide. So, she was doing some like long game, fake stuff to try and make us think that she was really going to do it. It turns out that when those searches were taking place, she had a calendar entry to leave for the doctor, apparently, to take Dawson at 9:45 because he had an appointment. Anyway, so it was Patrick Clancy who was logged in that morning, and it was his email, patrickw.clancy@gmail, that was logged in that morning. Anyway, then they went into her Google searches. And if you know me, and if you followed me on other trials, I have an opinion about Google searches. I've said it a million times. Google is your friend. Use it. Learn something. Unless what you're trying to learn is how to dispose of a dead body. That's the one time you shouldn't fucking Google anything, folks. I can't believe I have to say that out loud. She actually Googled, how long does it take to die in the cold or something like that. Found searches on a home computer. Again, stop Googling. See, ultimately, they can be your downfall. And in this case, the prosecution tried to convince us. She Googled the restaurant. She Googled how far away it was. She Googled the map. So she would know exactly how long he was going to be gone. She would know exactly how much time she had to kill her children. It was all planned. It was all premeditated. Yeah, but she also Googled a whole fuck ton more than that. You ready? She Googled bipolar, psychosis, trazodone, then trazodone, then Wellbutrin. How do you feel on trazodone? Ativan addiction, Prozac, then schizophrenia. And the dates on some of these, like he had this guy up on the stand and he talked about the dates. Schizophrenia, January 19th, right? We're getting pretty close to the day the kids died. Psychosis in January 20th. Multiple searches for Seroquel. And it wasn't just the drug, it was the behavior. Why does Seroquel make me not want to talk? Those kinds of things. Those were all in January. Many searches for suicide in late December. Many searches for sleep in January. Zoloft was being searched in December, plus benzo withdrawals. And finally, she Googled McLean because she was researching hospitals. And then she Googled insomnia, which seemed to have been something that was plaguing her for a couple of months. So sometimes Google searches bury you. But in this case, I think this bodes so well for the defense because they have been saying all along, Lindsay cannot be held criminally responsible for what she did due to the mental disease or defect that she was feeling at the time, right? Once the defense witnesses come up, we're going to hear the full story. Is this a psychosis, a postpartum psychosis? Is this something having to do with an undiagnosed bipolar? Is this a situation where she was overprescribed? She was mixing the wrong medicines. She was taking too much or too little or not weaning off or going too fast. We don't know. I think Kevin Reddington is going to call up some really, really incredible witnesses. They're going to talk through all of the things, the doctors that treated Lindsay, people who were experts in her type of injuries or spinal injuries, the suicides. So he's going to call all those people up. I'm telling you, this case starts with the defense. But I'm already excited because if he can eat up these two guys were saved for last. Like, these are some of the last witnesses the prosecution called up because they really thought they had this big finale. Like, oh, this guy's going to testify that she was searching suicide. This one's going to testify that there were phone calls between her and Patrick while he was at CVS, and they know she was at home because her phone, like they did GPS locators on both phones. His phone's at CVS, her phone is at home connected to the Wi-Fi. So they thought this was a big gotcha. Like, we can prove he wasn't there and she was in the home and she did this. But then on cross, both of these men got eaten alive by Kevin Reddington, and it was embarrassing. So I just can't wait. I think this trial starts next week when the defense witnesses start coming through. More to come.